Today is April 18th, and we're stepping back exactly 103 years to 1923, the date when a brand new cathedral of baseball threw open its gates in the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of the very first game at Yankee Stadium, the ballpark they would forever call the house that Ruth built. Grab your peanuts, your Cracker Jacks, find a seat in the grandstand, and let's travel back to that sunny Wednesday afternoon. April 18th, 1923, Yankee Stadium, fresh paint and fresh plaster still in the air. The Yankees, defending American League champions, are hosting their old rivals, the Boston Red Sox, Babe Ruth's former team. But this wasn't just any opener. This was the opener. The stadium had the largest seating capacity in the big leagues by a mile. That's right. Over 74,000 fans crammed in, the biggest crowd in baseball history up to that point. Another 25,000 were supposedly turned away at the gates. Governor Al Smith threw out the ceremonial first pitch, and John Philip Sosa himself led the 7th Regiment Band, and right there in right field, the Sultan of SWAT, the Bambino, Babe Ruth, the man whose popularity had outgrown the old Polo Grounds and forced the Yankees to build this palace. The game started slow. Pitchers Bob Shockey for the Yankees and Howard Emke for the Red Sox were dealing early. But in the bottom of the third inning, oh boy, did the roof come off, even though there wasn't one yet. With 2 runners on and 2 out, up steps Ruth. Emke delivers, and the Babe unleashes a savage 3-run homer into the right field bleachers. The first home run ever hit in Yankee Stadium. The crowd of 74,200 went absolutely bananas. Ruth is beaming, waving his cap as he trots around the bases. That blast broke the game open. The Yankees would go on to win 4-1. Shockey went the distance, scattering just 3 hits. He even scored the first run in the new park. Joe Dugan knocked in the first run. Bob Musial hit the first double. And Red Sox first baseman George Burns got the first hit and made the first error. And the 9th, with 2 outs, fans started swarming the field around Ruth. Umpire Tommy Connolly had to restore order just so George Burns could fan the final out. Classic old-time baseball chaos. Let's take a quick look at that historic box score straight from the archives. The Boston Red Sox, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. The New York Yankees, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. The key moments: Ruth's 3-run homer, his only hit, but what a hit. RBI from Dugan and McMillan. Shockey strikes out 5, walks 2, and earns the complete game win. Time of the game, just 2 hours and 5 minutes. Attendance, 74,200 official, a record that stood for years. Arthur O. Schott captured it beautifully in his 1973 Baseball Research Journal piece, 50 years after the fact. He noted that a dozen of the 20 players in that game had already passed on by then. Among the survivors were Shockey and Emke, the rival pitchers, Dugan, Musial, and Burns. Today, over a century later, that stadium is gone, replaced, renovated, remembered. But the legend lives. Fred Lieb, the sports writer, coined the nickname right after Ruth's homer, the house that Ruth built, and it stuck. Because Ruth didn't just play there, he filled it. He turned the Yankees into the most famous franchise in sports. So on this April 18th, whether you're a Yankees fan, a baseball romantic, or just someone who loves a good origin story, tip your cap to that 1923 afternoon, to the fresh grass, the roaring crowd, the Bambino smile, and the birth of a dynasty. The house that Ruth built didn't just open its doors that day. It opened a new chapter in baseball history. This has been Dates with Destiny, a Smell Baseball podcast. Mr. Baseball. Keep smelling the grass, folks. and I'll see you at the next date in history.